Howdy y'all, I'm Mickey. Today is my 18th birthday, so I figured I'm about to head out for college. Howdy y'all, I'm Mickey, back with some decent hair. First 2019 resolution, get my hair cut more than 4 times. It is the end of 2018, which was a okay year. It wasn't the best year I've ever had, but I wasn't in such a bad headspace that I missed a month of school. No one admitted to wanting me dead or physically harmed, and then tried to turn everyone against me to isolate me. And no one died, so I guess it's not the worst year I've had recently. More than anything, things are just different. I like to think that a lot of the changes were positive, but mostly a lot of them just kind of felt neutral. Just a lot of things changed, and I'm still kind of adapting to what's different. So here at the end of this year, I want to look back at a lot of the major things that happened, and there are quite a few. January started off big. I turned 18, so I'm legally an adult now, and I got my license so I can drive my car now. I also made some changes to my online presence. I started making videos, for one. Also, I started Instagram, which I technically first posted on December 31st, but because it was December 31st, I'm going to consider Instagram a 2018 thing. Yeah, the year of changes started off with a month of some changes. February, I did my senior photos, which I did them so late because there was a hurricane that prevented me from getting them done prior to that. And that whole experience was meh. I really liked the photos I got done in my button-up, basically the outfit I was able to choose, but then I had to take my yearbook photo in the girl's outfit, and I was very uncomfortable. The pictures came out bad, and I was dysphoric, so the experience was mixed, but senior photos, which made me acknowledge that I was a senior and was very close to graduating. But in regards to positive things that happened that month, I got a gold scholastic key for my writing portfolio, and another short story I wrote got published in an international lit mag. So I made strides as a writer, which set the tone for March when I went to a writing convention and met writers I like, such as Kristen Arnett, Billy Merle again, and George Saunders. I always love doing writing conventions and being around other writers. It just, if I'm stuck in a creative rut, being around other artists helps draw me out of that. Definitely would recommend. Love, Simon came out in March, and it's iconic new favorite movie. Of course, Dee Dee and I went and saw it the day it premiered because we are those kinds of gays. But before we went to the movies, we were on an LGBTQ+ student panel at a conference that was put together to help DCPS teachers, staff, and administrators make Duval schools safer places for LGBTQ+ students. I talked a little bit about conditional acceptance not being good for students. She talked a little bit about having to fight administrators for a safer environment at our own school. We both talked a little bit about being gay, and then we went to the gay movies, because that's how it be. March was also the first time that I got a hairdresser to take clippers to my hair. I kind of just got it cut into a real undercut this time, but that was the first time that I did any sort of clipping on it and making it decidedly short. Then towards the end of the month, I volunteered at the Jacksonville March for Our Lives, where I spent a lot of my time drawing a lot of chalk art just all over the place where people were gathering before the actual physical march and then cleaning up while everyone was gone. People really liked my art, apparently. It wasn't really art as much as I was writing slogans on the ground, but I was putting them everywhere, and then I ended up getting interviewed for the Florida Times-Union. April came along, nothing much happened. Infinity War came out and ruined my life. Grad Bash happened, which was another signifier that the school year and my time as a high schooler were quickly coming to an end, and Dee Dee turned 18, which happened at Grad Bash.
So it's 12:20 in the morning, it's April 14th, which means this one just turned 18.
It was fun just hanging out with my high school friends before we all went off our separate ways into the world. In May, I had my final performance of works that I had written throughout school, and that was really emotional. I brought more of my family than usual. I didn't read any pieces about gender because I did that at the beginning of the year, but I did read pieces about being gay, and I announced myself and presented myself and had my name on the program as Mickey, which I tended not to address myself as that around my mom or family. And so that was about the point that I acknowledged to them that, like, hey, that's how everyone knows me as now. Also, huge thing that happened that month, I graduated high school. I finished it. I was done. Which was really weird to come to terms with. That branch of my life, not only high school, but also just schooling as I had known it for the past 12 years, 13 years, was done. That was so weird to me. Also, a couple hours after I finished my last day of high school, I went to queer prom, which took the place of our senior prom, and I won prom royalty. So, guess I won prom king for my senior prom, which was a really cool thing and really fun. And I still have the crown, which is way too big for my head now that I've chopped literally all of my hair off. June came along, Pride Month 2018. I don't think I really did much outside of just being gay. I think I got really into Pokemon Go in this month. Had Dee Dee stay over for like a whole weekend and we just played Pokemon Go. And I also saved up my money from my birthday and graduation and bought myself a fancy blue PS4, The Last of Us. And of course, I pre-ordered Spider-Man because it was one of the most hyped game releases of the year, and I would die for Spider-Man. On a completely unrelated note, that guy Peter Parker seems pretty cool too. Turns out July was Pokemon Go month. I got Mew and Shiny Articuno, which were both very dear to my heart. I also checked out Toy Story Land, which I think opened this summer, so it was very new and very fun. Went on the Slinky Dog coaster, which is much more intense than you would expect a Toy Story ride at Disney World to be, and just had a grand old time checking out the new Disney attraction. Oh, I also went on the Pandora rides, the River Adventure and the Flight of the Banshee. Those are very fun. The Navi River Adventure is not worth the wait. Solid opinion, not worth the wait it has. Maybe a half hour, 45-minute wait, but not 5 hours. The Banshee ride, also gonna stand by not worth an 8-hour wait, but is one of the coolest rides I've been on recently. So it does get that 10 out of 10 for being awesome. And then the movie that ruined my life came out on digital release, and I bought it the second it went up. And then of course I instantly went to making a sad thing for Peter Parker based off of Deadpool, because Deadpool's theme song was about ashes. How are you not gonna do that? August, I started college, which is the really big thing there. I started college, I moved to Orlando because I currently live in a dorm, and I just, so much changed very quickly. I definitely think I got very lucky with my roommate. We are actually friends. They'll tell you not to hope that you and your roommate will be besties, and me and my roommate get along very well, and I got kind of just absorbed into her friend group, so I now have more friends than I did going into college, which was 1, and now I have like 5, and it's wild. Starting college and moving away from my family gave me my first taste at what it's like to be an adult and what life is going to be like for the next 3.5 years, and I just fully embraced being at night. Also, earlier in the month, as in the day before I moved down to Orlando, I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, which was not at all surprising, but now I'm diagnosed, I guess. I started therapy for that. I did UCF's on-campus therapy. It was no bueno, but that is going to be its own video later on. In September, my college's hockey team's season started. Yes, Florida colleges have hockey teams. That was actually the first hockey game that I went to in real life. I've been watching hockey on TV for a while, but our school's games were the first ones that I was attending in person. I joined the social media team for the hockey team, so I write stuff up for them and hang out with the other social media members, which is fun. And then Spider-Man came out, and I did not care about anything else for the rest of the month, because that game consumed all of my attention and then tore my heart out and hurt me. But also, that game was amazing. I dedicated all of my time and attention to it. And it's the first game that I ever 100% completed. Got all of the achievements, did everything. 100% of the game. Because again, Spider-Man is very much near and dear to my heart. After September comes Gay Month 2.0, October. October is LGBTQ+ History Month, so Pride organizations on campus were doing events and things for that, which included an opening ceremony where Shane Ortega spoke about his experiences. I went to my first ever Orlando Pride because Florida celebrates Pride in October, and Orlando Pride is much, much bigger than Jack's Pride, which I was kind of overwhelmed, especially since I went to Pride on my own. That was my first time kind of just going out and spending a day doing things by myself, as adults sometimes do. But then Dee Dee and some of her friends showed up.
Look who managed to show up!
So I wasn't alone the whole time. I think even if I had been by myself the whole day, I still would have thought it was really fun, because it was really fun. Then after Pride, it was on to Halloween-y things. I decorated my dorm with spooky decorations. I painted ceramic pumpkins as, you'll never guess, Gay and Spider-Man. I was one of the winners of a costume contest. Please don't. It's storming outside right now. Power, please stay. I love power. I was one of the winners in a costume contest at a nerdy gaming sort of club I'm in. I was supposed to have won Undertale for that. I will have to retrieve my Undertale prize. Still haven't played that game, but one day I will know what the hype's about. And then I got together my SpongeBob cosplay, because that's what I dressed up as Halloween, because SpongeBob is also one of the big things for me. In early November, I voted for the first time ever, which I was excited to do. It's a mark of me being an adult, but it's also a way that I'm able to make at least some of an impact on things, other than just like going out and doing activism. Voting was a way to directly influence things. Very much of the opinion that if you have the ability to vote and then don't, you don't get to complain afterwards about how things go. Shortly after that, current mayor of Orange County, who at the time was Sheriff Mayor-elect Demings, came and spoke to my class, which was really fun. We got to learn some things about politics and being sheriff and the route to being mayor. That was just fun to hear about. Bernie Sanders came to my college campus and I didn't know until after he left. I somehow missed entirely Bernie Sanders coming to my school. I did not, however, miss the giant Ferris wheel, fair ride, and ice rink that showed up. I went to them because that's Light Up UCF, an annual winter festival type thing UCF does that was a ton of fun. November was really when I started trying to vlog alongside doing my normal video type things, which I've wanted to vlog since I started making videos, but I just didn't know what to do or how to get into that. So November, I decided, whatever, I'm gonna do it, because that's kind of how I address half the stuff I do. Vlogging more is something I hope to keep up in 2019. I haven't done it much in December because I haven't done a ton during break, but once I am back in Orlando, back in college, back to the grind, I will try and maybe maintain that. November 20th, Dee Dee and I hit 11 years of friendship, which was wonderful. Just the idea that we have known each other for 11 years is wild to me. It's a fun thing, I'm just happy about it. Nothing major happened on the day. Last year we made each other collages because both of our brains went the same place. She gave me a rainbow collage with no purple because she probably stole the purple to make recreations of her own hair. Yeah, that one was just something I was happy about. I, very last minute into the semester, tried to get more in touch with Pride Commons and like Pride resources on campus because I do want to get more involved in the LGBTQ+ community in Orlando. So that's what I did, last ditch effort in November. Going into the new semester should be something I do. And late November was the first time that I came back to Jax since leaving for college. I wasn't coming back throughout the semester. I did come back before winter break to go see a theater performance, but it was the first time in months. I was really glad my cat didn't hate me, because he gets mad sometimes if you leave for long periods of time, but I think he was more just happy that I was around, and that made me really happy because my cat is my favorite. And that leads us into this month, December, where I finished my first semester of college, and I still don't feel like I got the hang of things quite yet. Going into hockey, turns out my mom's new boyfriend is also a hockey fan, so I went to my first pro hockey games. I've gone to 2, which were both Icemen games. The first game we went to was Icemen versus the Everblades, and I bought this puck with a logo on it. and a hat with the logo on it. And then yesterday, I went to Icemen versus Solar Bears, which is Jacksonville versus Orlando. So it was my two cities fighting against each other, and I have decided he's my new favorite player. Johnny Tamala threw my sister and I pucks. He stayed behind on the ice after everyone left warm-ups to throw everyone against the glass pucks, and then he got a hat trick. So that's what being nice does for you. You get good luck and good skill. And then there's an Iceman winter something this weekend that we're going to. It's not a game, but it should be fun. And then the day after that, the year's over. So I guess there's not much left major that could happen. 2018 was a very eventful year. It wasn't the best year ever, but it certainly wasn't the worst, so for that, I am grateful. Looking back on all of this, I'm really glad that I feel like I've been making the most of my time, because that's something I worry about a lot, is that I'm going to not use my time and then I'm going to regret it, and I don't want to regret not doing anything. So looking back on the year, I can remember that I have done things and that shouldn't be something that consumes my brain as it does sometimes. It also makes me really excited for what 2019 could hold, because 2019 is also going to be a year full of a lot of changes. Looking back at everything that happened in 2018, I'm content with how the year went. How was y'all's years? I would love to leave notes about your year down in the comments so that we can all look back at what happened in this weird year. This week's video was about looking back at 2018. Next week's video is going to be about looking forward with resolutions and excitement and whatnot for the year to come. 2019 is going to hold so many things that I hope are mostly positive. I'm really excited for the year. I really, really do hope that 2019 holds good things in store, but we won't know until we get there. For now, this is it. See y'all next year. Ciao.